I'm 30. I live in 32, excuse me. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. I was born and raised here, and currently I am a sales consultant for a company called Blue Heron.
Okay, thank
Ah,
you. So, rewinding back to when we hopped on our very first call, what was your number one motivation to talk about your journey?
wow. So I'd seen your videos and you were just talking about subconscious. And at first, to be honest, I was like, yeah, of course. Like we know this. Of course it's subconscious. And I was like, but do I really know it? Because I keep having these same issues.
Mhm.
And hearing you share your story, it resonated with me in a few different ways, even though it wasn't exactly the same things that happened. But you inspired me to see that, okay, we can rewire and fix it. And I don't know, I felt like it was time to make the jump because at that time I was in a crazy like romantic situation. I was could not succeed at my job no matter what I did, and I felt like I was a pretty good salesperson, so I couldn't understand it. Um, Terrible like living situation, like everything. If you think of romance, career, health, and like living situation, housing was all probably like a 2 out of 10 at best.
Right.
So yeah, so I was like, okay, like it's time to take all of these years of learning and get some help in putting it to practice. And you helped me do just that.
Wow. So it was the relationships that you were in. I remember that was the case. I'll let you explain, but there was the relationships, the living situation, and your career. That was what was going on in your life at the time. So what would you say was the biggest challenge that you faced during that journey before we started working together?
Uh, the biggest challenge that I faced was honestly, I don't know how to explain it, but it was blind spots, Renee. So it was like I knew that it shouldn't be like this, but I could not figure out what it was. So for me, it was all intertwined. Like my health had deteriorated, so my relationships were crazy or whatever. And then my career was a mess because I wasn't healthy. And because of that, I couldn't get a better housing situation. So everything just felt like a cluster. I don't know if it's like the rock bottom people talk about or like
Mhm.
that dark night, but everything was just so combined. I can't even pinpoint it to one, aspect of life. But I believe we started with the relationship first, I
We
think.
it was relationships, and we did your health, and we also looked at your career. I work in very much, okay, what is coming up in your life right now? And then we worked on that every single week, or every time we caught up that week. So that's awesome. I mean, it's awesome where you are now. So we're gonna get into that. But what did you do to try to solve all those challenges that you were facing at the time?
Before meeting
Yeah.
together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny, I now think of things as in stages, but I was so just like in information gathering stage. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd learned all of these things, like I learned all of these techniques. I went to like different types of therapies and workshops, and it was learning, but the inability to put things into application. And I wasn't understanding like how to, okay, so all of these keys exist. Now what? Like it's not helping me at all knowing any of these things.
Right.
So that's kind of where I was. I was just, I don't know, I felt like I would use the analogy in a hamster wheel
Like
oftentimes.
spinning
Yeah.
your wheels, basically. You got all this information and you're still back at the same place, like over and over again.
Yep.
Okay. And so when you got into our container together and we started working together, what did success look like for you at the time?
As in, what was I wanting to achieve?
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, as we were working together, I thought, being in a great, happy relationship, purchasing a home, becoming the number one sales consultant, and perhaps like being able to leave my job, which sounds funny, but that's what I wanted. And those things would have, in my mind, made me perfectly happy if I had all of those things. And also, my health was a big, big thing. And I didn't even realize that working on these other things would have helped that too. But yeah.
Yes. everything is interconnected. So in saying that and what you wanted to achieve in that success, how did we or myself help you achieve that success?
I think that you held really safe space and you kept me on path in the sense of it can get emotional and you get pretty intense and you still held that steady space. And I appreciate that so much because each time we had a call, you would check in with me. And what was amazing is even if I said something that maybe I didn't even realize wasn't the deepest truth, you would ask me in a different way again. So your intuition on that was always really spot on, and I appreciate that so much because you then allowed me to get to the deeper truth, right? Which is where the keys really are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you held me and guided me through those subconscious techniques that you are so good at. And through that, I was able to release. And I saw it like little by little chipping away as we were working together. And as you said, like it did change like a domino effect, changed every aspect of my life. And you also taught me some tools to take with me, which was very, very empowering because not every coach will do that.
Oh
So,
my God, yeah, I love that. So tell me now, like, where are you now in your life and what have you achieved and the things that we did together?
so I found this list I had on my phone and another one I had written out, and it had when we first started working together, like I think it was 8 or 10 things that I wanted. And I won't list all of them, but so I did become the top salesperson. I am in a happy, like committed relationship. I am, so I have absolutely no debt. I have like more saved in my account than like, I think it's incredible. I was talking to a friend yesterday. He goes, "You realize that makes you like the top 3% of people." And I said, "What? Like, that's insane to me." In America anyway. And then, so I am actually able to leave my job whenever I feel like it. And what else was it? Oh, I bought a house.
Oh,
So literally everything flipped on its head. So yeah, that's where we are.
that's amazing. That's incredible, Rain. Like, wow. That's awesome. I'm so proud of you. Wow. And if you were to work together all over again, for example, what would you do differently next time?
If we started over,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think next time I would just go in with more of a blind faith instead of a questioning, like, is this going to work? Like, what is this? I think that would make it even more powerful to go in with a blind faith, like, this is going to work. This is like science meets spirituality. And then I would have even more energy to work with you. I think that would be what would be like the next level with you. That's
Mm,
what I
I love that. Yeah, that belief and when you go into it with faith in anything, it's just it takes that result another level just because of the science behind belief as well, the placebo effect. But that's really, really interesting to know. I'd love to know what was your favorite part of the program as well.
let's see. I went through techniques. You gave me access to message you. Um, and you gave me homework. I love homework. So that was really fun because it kept me on track and it really anchored me into all of the beliefs that we had set on our call.
Mm-hmm.
So the calls were really, again, emotional, but in like a cathartic way. So a very beautiful way. And that is beautiful. But I've had sessions in the past, not with you, where it ends there and it kind of leaves you like, okay, now what? But because you would anchor that homework, of whatever it was for the week, it really helped keep it integrated. It became integrated and
Absolutely.
embodied, and that is probably my favorite part, was how to embody.
Perfect. I love that. Yeah, the action steps that you get every single week. Um, and so, Rain, if you were to give advice to someone trying to achieve this level of success that you had, buying a home, getting into a committed relationship, which is huge because I remember we worked a lot on that that aspect of yourself as well, and becoming the top sales performer, what's one thing that they should avoid?
That's a really good question. I would say, as much as you can, avoid allowing the same thoughts in your mind every day. As much as you can, find a coach who can hold that space for you and show you, because we all have blind spots at every level.
Yeah.
And I would say, really, it is just jump in, like both feet in, with all of the belief that you can muster. Like I think there's a quote in, I think it's the Bible. It says like faith of a mustard seed,
Mm-hmm.
and mustard seeds are so tiny you can barely see it, but that's how powerful that faith is. So, and just know that nothing's going to be perfect and you're never going to feel ready, but go for it with those things in mind anyway.
Beautiful. And it actually ties into the next. I really love what you said just then about just going full force and getting support because of our blind spots, because everyone has blind spots. But it really ties into my next question of anyone that's listening or watching this video, what advice you would be able to give them?
Mm, advice, goodness. I just would want to remind everyone that we absolutely 100% have all of the answers inside of us already. So to not move forward with any fear of anything outside of you, because all of that magic and support that you need, it is inside of you, and the universe will match and surpass it again and again and again. So that's what I would say to people, is like, there's literally nothing to be afraid of or apprehensive of. If you feel the calling to start getting some help on your journey, jump in 100% like yesterday.
That's awesome. I love that so much. I know I always go, um that's the biggest thing I teach with my clients is go back to yourself. It's you. You already have that magic within you. And if people are interested in connecting with you, Rain, how would they be able to find you?
Oh, well, feel free to add me on IG. It's Rain RE, so RAINRE, for now. And yeah, add me. And if you have any questions about working with Reese, feel free to reach out. And oh,
Amazing. Is there anything else, last words that you would love to share?
no, just thank you for all of your support. Thanks for still checking in with me even after we're finished
Of
with our
course.
container. I love that. And I love seeing you on your journey. I have to say that I wanted to let you know that you stepped out. You did all of these things that I'm saying yourself, and you stepped out, like, as I'm sure you were still preparing to do so. And you let the universe step in again and again. And you had yourself support yourself again and again, doing all these techniques that you share. And that is the most inspiring thing that you could do. So just thank you for that.
Thank you, Rain. You're awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course.